All right, before we get started today, I'm going to show you some of the tools that I use to get the job done. I've got a lot of tools for a job like this, so let me show you what some of these things look like, okay? First and foremost, you got to have a power drill. You can't use a battery-powered one. You want the real thing. You'll never run out of battery, and you got the power you need to get something done. I've got a heat device here. This heating device will heat up areas around where the current mold and mildew is, and I'm going to treat that on the existing structure before I put some mold-resistant primer on it. I've got the reciprocating saw. This thing is a lifesaver. I use this all the time. I've got metal blades for slicing off nail tips and excessive length screws that go in, and I need to sort of trim them down. I got the wood blade here. The wood blade will be used big time today to cut some of the special purpose cuts I need to get done. I've got your typical circular saw for simple cuts that are prepared outside the coop. My toolbox, I'll get back to these in a minute. New tool today, the DeWalt sander. I buy DeWalt stuff because it just lasts forever. But anytime a guy can get an excuse to buy more tools, you take it. And here I've got a DeWalt sander, hand sander. This will be useful to sand down some of the things that need done, especially those slants on those 4x4s. I've got roofing cement here, caulk, that will be important when I start putting the shingles on to match the shingles to this flashing. This flashing has the drip edge to it. This will be on the front edge of the roof structure, and it'll keep water out of the actual plywood layers. Shingles will go on top of that. I've got the shingles I need for today's project. I've got the underlayment for the shingles for today's project. I've got caulk for gaps in the wood. This is wood caulk, tan colored already. So again, this is going to be for the flashing and for the cement structure of the roof, and this is going to be for gaps in the wood. You need to have a caulk gun, of course. Use right edges all the time. Right edges for aligning cuts. Headlock screws. Now I've got a lot of screws here, but nothing beats these headlock screws. You've got the type of driver that basically drives these things in. It's a sprocket looking driver, and these things lock very well, and with the big flat wide head you've got a nice binding, and it really pulls the wood together and keeps it in place. It's like having a built-in washer. Love that thing. Roofing nails, all sorts of assorted screws, some handles, and some new latching materials. Okay, so on the ground here, some spray kills for hard to reach areas, actual paint on kills, and I'm gonna put this down inside the coop where there's some maintenance that needs to be done. I'm probably gonna drill some holes around that too so things drain properly. I got some black paint to trim some of the metal so it's all black looking. That's just a nice style design. Almost out of the red pepper barn red that I use, so I had to get another gallon of that, which I have. I've got the roosting bar for inside the coop right here. I've got this trim. This is a flatter piece of wood. This trim is going to be super important because I think what I can do is have a few windows, and I'll put that trim around these windows, shape them up nicely, and let more light in the coop when the doors are shut. And then finally, I've got two 4x4 pieces, which I'm going to cut for the roof piece. And then I've got the final 4x4 piece right here, which will be used, generally cut into two triangles, which will be the sides of the new chicken coop. And I'll cut the triangles last so that they're perfectly cut, and they'll fill in the sides of that hen house. So that's about it. Those are all the tools that you kind of need. Of course, a hammer, this comes in handy. And I've got power running to the site, so it should be good to go. Now it's time to start working. Wish me luck. Over and out.